leaves begin to turn and the petals start to fall, stop and remember it all.
Welcome to the Fresh Toones Show. My name is Dave Paltz, and today I'll be celebrating the 10th anniversary of Rochester Free Radio. It's been a really nice experience for these last 10 years of being on the air here. And actually, I connected with the folks trying to get Rochester Free Radio up even earlier than 10 years ago. It was over 12 years ago that I read about some new radio stations going on the air in Rochester, or working at it at least. And one of those stations that was mentioned in a City Magazine article was Rochester Free Radio. I was kind of intrigued. I've been writing songs at that point probably 40 years or more, and I had tons of fresh tunes that I wanted to share with folks. And this seemed like this might be an opportunity if I could get a show of my own on the air. I kind of hesitated. I'm kind of an introvert and backed away from trying to call the guys that were working at bringing Rochester Free Radio to life. It was kind of weird. For 20 years, I had worked at Animated Studio as the creative director. And one day, Fred Armstrong, the owner, was out of the office, but two guys came walking in the door. No email or phone call before, as I remember. It was Chuck McCoy and David Sutlett Adias. And they wanted to talk to somebody at the studio, and because Fred wasn't there, I sat down and talked with him and found out that the people that were going to make a crowdfunding video for them had kind of balked and dropped the project, and they were looking for somebody else that could do it. Well, they didn't have any budget, and I knew the studio probably couldn't do it for free. But I said, well, let's talk about it, and as they described what they wanted and how long it would be, and I figured, well, I could give it a shot. I had never done any personal video productions at that point. I had done plenty of animations and worked on some other projects. But I said, I'll give it a try. I'll go out with my mini DV camera and I can shoot some interviews and shoot some video around town and maybe put something together for your crowdfunding project. As we talked some more, I pulled out a bunch of my CDs. I had probably 15 or 16 or maybe more at the time, and laid them out on the table. I said, I've been writing songs for 40 some years, and I sure would like to have a show if you get the station up. And they said, sure. They probably had plenty of airtime to fill. So I worked on the crowdfunding project, and here's the narration that they gave me to put to the video. Give you a little sense of what Rochester Free Radio originally thought of themselves as being. The whole slogan was Your Voice, and it was going to invite folks from across the board in Rochester to come out and share their views, share their ideas, share their organizations, share their music, and it seemed to fit right into some ideas I had for a show of my own, the Fresh Toones Show. The opening music there was called Remember It All, so that's what we're going to do today is remember it all, how Rochester Free Radio came to be, and I'll share some fresh tunes in the process. I'm going to play that crowdfunding narration to you now, and then we'll go on from there.
Rochester is a great city with great flaws. In all the dialogue happening about what to do about what ails us, there's one thing missing.
Your voice.
That's why we're starting Rochester Free Radio 106.3 FM.
Your voice.
WRFZ-LP will be a low-powered FM community radio station that also broadcasts on the internet. The format of the station is simple. We'll be playing one thing.
Your voice.
Music, talk, comedy, politics, problems, solutions. Rochester Free Radio will cover it all by using one means of communicating.
Your voice.
Our goal is $15,000. That will enable us to broadcast from the Main Street Armory. The money will pay for the transmitter, studio equipment, music licensing, and more. And it will allow Rochester to hear the most important thing RFR has to offer.
Your voice.
Help us get Rochester Free Radio up and running. When you participate in our crowdfunding campaign, you'll not only get really cool swag like t-shirts, bumper stickers, and the most amazing bedazzled radios around, but you get to make sure that we bring everyone in Rochester together to celebrate our strengths and fix our weaknesses. So help us bring your voice to the rest of Rochester. Let's get Rochester Free Radio 106.3 FM on the air. Then we'll all be able to listen to
It's your voice, so use it.
Your voice, let's hear it.
It's your voice, so speak up.
Your voice, let's hear it.
It's your voice.
Speak up.
Rochester Free Radio.
Well, I don't know how much money that crowdfunding video brought in, but I guess anything helps when your budget is pretty low. After that crowdfunding video was out there a while, we started to have regular meetings, and I got to meet Jeff Moulton, who was one of the original people that envisioned what Rochester Free Radio could be and worked so hard to get it up and going. And I met some of the other important technicians that were involved with all the technical needs that the new station would need. Jeff and Chuck in particular had a lot of knowledge about radio and were essential to the whole process. Of course, all the big things that needed to be done, we still needed to find new ways to bring in some funding in those early days. We had yard sales, and I'd go out there and I'd bring my guitar and my Fresh Toones sign and promote the station, and it ended up being important to bring in that little bit of money to get this whole project going. Recently, I wrote a little piece myself on thanking the folks that were volunteered and so important to bringing Rochester Free Radio to the point where it could actually go up and broadcast. Here's the little thank you that I wrote recently. I want to take a few seconds here just to thank everybody that's been involved with getting Rochester Free Radio up and hopefully contribute to this community station that we have here with a lot of different voices, which is really nice. I'm sure some folks think, well, that's a pretty strange radio show or whatever, but that's what community radio is about sometimes. We've been very fortunate to keep it going. It's a struggle sometimes because it operates with volunteers, and sometimes it's hard for people in their busy lives to be able to volunteer enough to keep something like Rochester Free Radio going. So thanks to all those folks that helped to get it started, and all the radio show producers that spend a lot of time putting their heart and soul into their shows. Thanks for tuning in. Rochester Free Radio, WRFZ 106.3 FM, or stream at rochesterfreeradio.com. If you're free on Sunday, May 31st, please join us for a Rochester Free Radio fundraiser at Bunsey's Neighborhood Food and Drink. We'll be featuring an emerging artist showcase of many talented musicians from the greater Rochester area. Bunsey's is located at 2235 Empire Boulevard. We'll be there from 1 to 6. Hope to see you there. Well, since we're remembering a little history about Rochester Free Radio, I thought I'd play that whole song that I started the show with, Remember It All.
When the leaves begin to turn and the petals start to fall, stop and remember it all. Remember the joy of spring, recall summer and the love she brings. It's fall now, stop and remember it all. Remember, but don't forget, your love is what you live. Love and remember it all. Old, young, or in between, remember where you've been. Oh, remember it all. Remember when you were lost, recall what brought you back. Oh, remember it all. Remember and don't forget, your love is what you live. Live and remember it all. Remember what made you sing, the tunes that let you smile within. And if your memories start to dim, smile and it'll all kick in, and you'll remember it all. Oh, remember it all. You'll remember it all. You'll remember it all. You'll remember it all.
Well, over these 14 years of being a volunteer with Rochester Free Radio and a DJ for 10 years, there's certainly been times of feeling really up and then sometimes down. Those down times were when we think we'd have a place all set to move into and have a place for an antenna to be installed. All of a sudden, the rug would be yanked out from under us, and Jeff and Chuck and the other primary people would have to be out there looking again for some place to find some place to set up the station and get the antenna up. Fortunately, one of the last places we were at, the Hungerford building, going to have new management there. So we got out of there and we have a new place over in Cornhill. So we lucked out there. So hopefully we're on and up now, even though financing is always a concern. And sometimes we'll have to put in some extra effort to keep this station going. I thought this fresh tune kind of fit right in. It's called Ground to Stand On.
We're up, then down, we're up, then down, we're up, then down. What a ride we are on. Hit the top, then hit the ground. We're up, then down, we're up, then down. On a wild horse we go around. She takes us up and then back down, 'cause we're up, then down. We go up, then down. Can't seem to win, still race around. The curves are sharp, the crowds are gone, and we're up, then down. We go up, then down. Let me find a way to see, let me in this life I lead. Help me find the loving key to the love I want to be, 'cause our love gives us ground to stand on. Our love gives us ground to stand on. 'Cause our love gives us ground to stand on. Our love gives us ground to stand on.
Well, connecting with Rochester Free Radio has meant a lot, and with their original mission of sharing the voice of many people throughout our community, I felt like I could really relate to that. As well as my songs, I've been writing inspirational live stories, and some of them I've made into mini documentaries that I've entered into film festivals and got accepted, so that's kind of cool. I don't think there's another station I would have felt as comfortable with sharing these stories. I think I've probably done 50 of them over the 10 years, so I thought maybe I'll share one of them because it's part of the story, or at least part of my story of being involved with Rochester Free Radio. This inspirational lies was about a man named Jacoba Saradoga. Jacoba was the village fool
They laughed at everything he tried to do. He fought to save his farm, but his neighbors said, we're leaving ours. Well, Yacoba, he did not run in the heat of that desert sun. He dug holes in the concrete ground. He put in leaves and seeds and even dung. But there was one more ingredient he needed. He found termites were the best for what they'd leave him. 'Cause Yacoba knew they were diggers too. They dug tunnels underneath the fields that he grew. And they held what little rain did fall till those seeds grew big and tall. Oh, Yacoba, you see, he wasn't crazed. Well, the government said he must be mad. He just saw things a little differently. He saw friends and things that most couldn't see. And now we should all know that there are many, many ways to grow. Right now we cannot see. Perhaps tomorrow love will reveal. Yes, Yacoba was the village fool. They laughed at everything he tried to do. He fought and saved his farm. Then his neighbors all came back around. 'Cause Yacoba, he did not run in the heat of that desert sun. He dug holes and filled them with love. He grew food where once was dust. 'Cause Yacoba, you see, he wasn't crazed. Though the government said he must be mad. He just saw things a little differently. He saw friends and things that most couldn't see. And now we should all know there are many, many ways to grow. Right now we cannot see. Perhaps tomorrow love will reveal that sometimes it's good to look at things differently, to find new answers that most can't see.
You're listening to The Fresh Toones Show right here on Rochester Free Radio 106.3 FM. Today's show is in celebration of the 10th anniversary of Rochester Free Radio being on the air. Having this station has been a real attribute to the community. There's been so many different organizations and different groups that have had shows, great music shows and great talk shows and shows getting the important issues out there. So I hope we can continue and hope people continue to support the station. And if you can connect with anything we're trying to do here at Rochester Free Radio, donate when you can. There's a fundraiser coming up, and I'll share some of that information with you again. If you're free on Sunday, May 31st, please join us for a Rochester Free Radio fundraiser at Bunsey's Neighborhood Food and Drink. We'll be featuring an emerging artist showcase of many talented musicians from the greater Rochester area. Bunsey's is located at 2235 Empire Boulevard. We'll be there from 1 to 6. Hope to see you there. Stations like Rochester Free Radio offer the many producers of shows a certain freedom to speak out and share their thoughts and bring in people with different ideas. We don't have to sit and contemplate, is this going to bring in a market share? So that independence has meant a lot to some different things coming out on the air. And even though it's a while to Independence Day, I have a fresh tune called Independence Day, so I'm going to share it with you right now.
Freedom vibrates in the blooms. The flowers are calling you. 1 million beats of feathered bliss. Nectar's gift is one sweet kiss. In sovereign states of confidence, they'll build and give assurances. Determined seekers will wet their beaks. Their thirst for kindness will bring them peace. Independence Day, a day to celebrate, a day to give our thanks for Independence Day. A lone hiker may seem isolated. Their aloneness is purely dedication to trek the long and narrow way to find an Independence Day. Independence Day, a day to celebrate, a day to give our thanks for Independence Day. To step out and see the light from a dark forest that blocked your sight. Breathe freely and sigh in relief to know you finally been released. Independence Day, a day to celebrate, a day to give our thanks for Independence Day.
Hey, if you can relate to anything that you hear on Dave's Fresh Tunes, just click on the like button. And if you really want other folks to hear about Fresh Tunes, you might consider subscribing. It's free, and both of these things will increase the chance that more people will hear the Fresh Tunes. And I really appreciate it, so thanks. Well, we're going to keep working to keep Rochester Free Radio alive. And hopefully we can continue to contribute to our community here and foster the seeds that we plant in our daily lives. This is a new song of mine, written just in the last couple of weeks. It's called Seed Set Free.
When the Beatles rolled in, the States were rocked. The children sang, their vision changed. Like Chuck before them, they shook the seeds. The silent ones stood, released their screams. Oh, please release us and let us be, to come to live in love and be all that we can be. It may seem to be just a dream, but what we seek starts from a simple seed. colors. Let us swim upstream. New thoughts will come, new hopes set free. Some say the old tunes have long gone past, but what once rang out still lingers here. Please release us and let us be, to come to live in love and be all that we can be. It may seem to be just a dream, but what we seek starts from a simple seed. So feed and water for you within. Live and give and be nature's friend. Her hints are there for all to see. If we can sing with her, our seeds will be set free.
Well, I've got time for one more song today here on the Fresh Toones Show. I'm going to play this uplifting song. It's actually called Lift Us Up. It's a good song to wrap up today's 10th anniversary celebration here at Rochester Free Radio. Lift Us Up.
Take trust in what you know. Give credence to the voice in tune. Your love has sought for oh so long. Take charge, stand up, and sing the song. Let us sing now. Lift us up to higher ground. Let us see and hear the sounds, a rising sun and the birds that sing. Release the song, let your love take wing. The song that once was all forgotten. Survey your life and check your start. Though the quakes may shake and crack your beams, stand steadfast now with integrity. Let us sing now, lift us up to higher ground. Let us see and hear the sounds, a rising sun and the birds that sing. Release the song, let your love take wing. Your loyalty to what you know will give you strength to help you grow. Conviction to what you most seek will lead you to the one you'll be. Let us sing now, lift us up to higher ground. Let us see and hear the sounds, a rising sun and the birds that sing. Release the song, let your love take wing.
And that's it for the Fresh Toones Show today. And It's been a good 10 years, and it was fun to celebrate the 10th anniversary show with you today. If you get a chance, come on out to Buncey's on Empire Boulevard for the Emerging Artist Showcase and fundraiser for Rochester Free Radio. Hope to see you there. Bye now.
When the leaves begin to turn and the petals start to fall, stop and remember it all.